and welcome back. This is ballerscuba with more Let's Play East of Oath in Felghana. I'm joined as always by our wandering swordsman, Adol Kristen. When we last left off, we got the game underway. We did quite a few things in that short period of time, but perhaps the most important is that we filled up our notes. That's not the most important, but I'm going to pretend like it is. So, let's go over the notes that we got. We're going to start with the character screen here. We have all the characters that are available to this point. I'm going to go ahead and read them now so we can kind of break it up as we go through the game. So let's start with Elena here. This is Elena Stoddart. A childhood friend of Doji's from Redmont. Adol saved her when monsters attacked on the road outside town, but she won't say what she was doing out there all by herself. Then we have Doji. Doji is Adol's best friend, a muscular man known as the Wall Crusher. After hearing of bad tidings in his homeland, he and Adol set out to learn the truth. Hasn't been back for 8 years. Then we have Gardner. Redmont's gatekeeper for many years, skilled in spear combat and serves as bodyguard for anyone who ventures outside the town gates in these monster-infested times. Knows Felghana well. Then we have Ricardo, a slim miner, has little love for fancy ideas or fancy people, preferring instead an honest day's physical labor, hates conflict, but also finds Count McGuire absolutely insufferable. We have Margot, landlady of the inn. Years ago, she took care of Doji when he was orphaned. She's renowned among the miners for her cooking skills and has also known the Stoddart children for years. Then we have Joel, Margot's nephew. Works at the inn, and his shyness is a stark contrast to Margot's outgoing nature. Handles reception of customers and general maintenance in the first floor restaurant. Then we have Adonis, Redmont's smithy, who carries on a family trade that's been passed down for generations. Skilled but arrogant, which makes him a poor salesman. He relies on Cynthia for that. Then there's Cynthia. Blessed with beauty and brains, she manages the curio store while also attracting customers. Has a keen eye for quality goods, but the crisis in Felghana is really hurting business. We have Randolph, a mercenary from Garmon. Went to the castle looking for work, but was refused and turned away due to his obvious drinking problem. Now spends all his time brooding at the inn. Next up is Antonio, a Roman merchant with a strong business sense, but little common sense. Has a knack for finding rare items. Came to Felghana for the express purpose of buying as much Rival as possible. We have Aida, a very sad old woman, closed herself to almost everyone around her, as Adol found out the hard way. It is unknown what may have led to this fierce depression. Then we have Anya, Dewey's only daughter, learned to avoid her grandfather's scoldings by playing outside a lot. Doesn't have any playmates lately, so she has far too much time on her hands as a result. We have Locus, Dewey's father. He still regards his son's mining skills as lacking. He knows plenty about the trade in the quarry and has no qualms about lecturing anyone who'll listen on these topics. Next up is Harold, a merchant who oversees the town's distribution. He's constantly racking his brain for a solution to Felghana's economic decline, but never lets it show. Seems normal, but is a bit of a dandy. Next up is Fiona, Harold's wife, has a calm disposition, but recent happenings with Count McGuire have preoccupied her lately. Regardless, she remains a devoted and hardworking housewife. Then we have Hugo, Harold and Fiona's son, has a bit of a smart mouth, but is a good kid at heart, loves his picards, and when hard times fall in Felghana, was quick to help out wherever he could. We have Father Jean-Pierre, Redmont's pastor of several years, deeply pious and greatly concerned over the trouble that plagues Felghana. In addition, he also constantly worries about Elena. Then we have Sister Nell, a nun dedicated to the Felghana diocese. Served for years in the town's church and now assists Father Pierre in his duties, known the two Stoddart children since they were young. So, my guess is that it's Catholic. Seems to me like very Catholic things to say about the father and the nun and the diocese and all that kind of stuff. So, those are the people that are available to us so far that we have met. So far in terms of monsters, we just have the Guff here. So here's the Guff, level 1, 5 experience, 1 gold, strength, defense, and HP are all in the 40s. Kind of odd that they start that high, but that's where they start. A Guff is a creature which roams the roads of Felghana. Once a mere feral dog, the ongoing disaster has made it vicious, always hunts in a pack. Also notice that we have all of its stats. That is nice for me to see. We're going to go over the manual. There's a few things here that are new. We already have learned about the basic actions and the boost mode, but outside of that, well, a lot of the later stuff is blank, but we have 3 screens that are new to us. Yeah, combat and defensive enhancements. Although, yeah, it doesn't say anything about experience, so I might hold on to that for a bit. So anyway, we start with the equipment screen. Press escape or space to open the menu, then select equip to bring up the screen. Clicking on an item or highlighting it and pressing the confirm key will equip it. We have Adol's status on the left, displays Adol's current experience level, health, and other statistics. Then we have an item list, displays a list of all collected items, including swords, shields, armor, accessories, and bracelets, and they do go in rows that way. Then we have a description, displays an image and textual description of the highlighted item. Always remember to try equipping newly acquired weapons, armor, shields, accessories, and bracelets. If you don't, they won't be of any use to you at all. I am familiar with equipping. Then we have inventory. Pretty much hit the menu and then click inventory to bring up the inventory. There's an item list, displays a list of all story items collected thus far. Some items can be equipped while others can be used. To use an item, simply click it and confirm by selecting yes. Then we get a description, displays an image and textual description of the highlighted item. With each new item you acquire, you may find that areas previously inaccessible can now be traversed with ease. Never be afraid to experiment. We'll go over that when it's relevant. Then we have the drop items. We've seen some of these. I briefly talked about them. Let's talk about them kind of in full now. When an enemy is defeated, one of the items listed below will often be left behind. There are herbs. Instantly restores some health points when touched. The amount of HP restored depends on the type of herb. Note that herbs may not be stored for later use, so you don't hold on to herbs like you did in the first 2 games. You pick them up as drops when you kill an enemy. So if you want to heal, you got to kill more things. Well, that's one of the ways to do it. That's the way to do it out in the field. Then there's gold. That's the currency. The value of each gold coin collected varies based on its size. Then there's revolve, ore used in weaponsmithing. Bigger chunks contain more usable ore. Then there's a battle draft. Every time I see it, I always think it's draught, because that makes more sense in my head, but that's how you spell draft. Battle draft. Temporarily increases your strength when touched. The bigger bottle's effects last a bit longer. Then there's the guard draft. Temporarily increases your defense when touched. Same thing with the bigger bottles. Spirit draft. Temporarily increases the recovery rate of your magic power when touched. And then the bigger ones last longer. So, that's the manual to this point. Let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to do a little bit of exploring today. Not too much, but there is some to be done. So, here's the kind of branching path that you can go. You can jump to get to certain areas, but not right now. All right, we'll kill everything on the screen. If you want to level grind, that is up to you. Like I said, we're going to do some exploring, so we're going to head up first. Notice that your experience rate just kind of goes up without drops. That's what you get for just plain killing people. All right. So we're going to head up here first, after I kill this guy. Alright, so we killed some guffs. We killed a new enemy that we'll go over in a bit. But for now, I want to grab all this stuff. Notice that these plant things are shooting things into the air. I know I haven't really gotten a chance to get a good close-up of them because trees keep on getting in the way. Hey, I got a level. Up to level 2 already. So this game does use 3D mechanics when it comes to how to actually fight. In the battles, you do have to think of everything in a 3D space. And that can pose a problem sometimes, but I think I'll be fine. I hope. But yeah, especially with stuff like that, it's difficult to figure out where things are at any given time. Let's head straight north first. This should take us back to the docks. Let me kill you, because guffs are a little bit easier to avoid. So far, no damage done to me, so things are looking up. You might have noticed that an herb was dropped, but since I was at full HP, I couldn't really do anything about it. It just kind of laid there. Alright, so let's head down here to the actual docks. And here you can see our ship. Also something for me to destroy. Get some money. Very useful. Can't get back on the ship, unfortunately. So we'll just continue north from here. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit of exploring. This is not necessary, but it will help me, you know, kind of take care of level grinding so I don't have to actually set aside some time to do that later. I can just kind of take care of it as I head to the castle. Also another save point here. We're not going to take care of that. I don't need to save. I haven't really done much yet. But we can talk to Andre. Hey, you! You got business here? If not, I think it'd be best for you to leave. Or are you applying to be a knight? I mean, you sure don't look the part, but stranger men than you have tried. No? That's what I figured. You're lost, really. The Lord here has been recruiting lots of soldiers lately, and it's real easy work with great benefits. We're supposed to let him know whenever any applicants come by. Though, like I said, we get some real odd ones. The other day, this mercenary guy from the town came by, totally drunk off his ass. I mean, what was he thinking? He absolutely reeked of booze, so he had no chance in hell. I turned him away on the spot. That makes sense. So, the guy was already drunk. What was his name? So weird how this stuff moves around. Was it Ricardo? No. Randolph. Randolph was the one that got turned away due to his obvious drinking problem. So he wasn't necessarily drinking to take the pain away, he just drinks. Alright, so this is where you get some level grinding done. Because as soon as you leave the screen and come back, the enemies do respawn. So let's head to the left. We passed by something back here. Let's head back to it. Yeah, the one things of gold, they're difficult to find. I can see them drop, but I can't always see where they drop. I see them shoot out, but that's about it. I'll take everything you guys are willing to give me. Remember that the longer you go, the faster you go, the more of an experience multiplier you get. You don't pick up a drop for that, you just get it by killing things. So I recommend killing things. More strength and defense for me. Haven't needed defense yet, but that's why I upgraded the sword, so I wouldn't need to. Here's another save point and a dead end. Yeah, I can't jump that high. Looks like there's a path up there, but there's nothing that I can do about that now. So, we're gonna head back and not necessarily go the way that we're supposed to go, but we're gonna head kind of that direction. Yeah, lots of little exploring, pretty much trying to get up to level 3, which I should be able to do. Did I get hit there? I did not get hit. Looks like I should have. Alright, MP speed. Clearly that is unnecessary. I don't have any magic. I forgot it all, and it was supposed to have disappeared anyway. That was kind of the result of the second game, was like, there's gonna be no more magic. Like, no, my magic. There's another herb that I can do nothing with. Alright, I finally got hit. Gotta pick up an herb immediately as a result, though. Well, not really as a result. You don't get herb drops just because you get hit. I shouldn't imply that's the case. But, got hit, then, like, they immediately dropped an herb, so I picked it up. Alright, so let's head east here. This is where a lot of people, including me a while ago, thought that this would be the right way, but this is not the right way. Here, the gate is shut and locked and absolutely impassable without the proper key. So, can't go that way. We actually have to do more backtracking, but we're getting a layout of the land, where we can and can't go, which reminds me that I should take a look at this map of Felghana, a detailed map of Felghana. Adol always marks his current location as he travels around, like he's just got his finger on it constantly. So let's use it so we can see. We're at the Ilburns ruins. We couldn't quite make it to the Elder Mountains. Remember, that's where Doji went. We made it to Veilstein Castle. Let's call it Veilstein instead of Veilstein. And then we'll go, there's Gino's Island over here, because this is Super Mario RPG land. And then we can go to the Tigray Quarry. As you can see on our map, we need to backtrack a little bit more, but we made like a ton of progress here. We move around very quickly on this map. Maybe it'll expand later. Maybe. We'll see. It's hard to see where, like, the pollen things are gonna land a lot of the time. But we need to backtrack some more, like I said. Back to where we pretty much had the first battle, right? The tutorial battle was really here. And here we can head east. And eventually we will find the thing that we are looking for. Killing more flowers along the way. Get more defense and MP. Get out of the way of you. Yeah, just click until victory. Not really caring about the special moves just yet. I will hold on to those. Yeah, usually if you're right on top of them, the pollen can't get you. But we will just follow this path around. Can't destroy any of this, I don't think. Even that? No. Alright, automatically get into a conversation with Paul. Hey. He? Sorry, I thought you were a monster. But if you're not a monster, then who are you? And what are you doing here? Adol gave his name and explained that he had come at Ricardo's behest. Oh, so you're the guy Ricardo got? Don't know where he found you, but you sure do look the part. Okay, thank you. You're a lifesaver, you know that? The mayor's still down in the tunnels as far as I can say. The boss has been searching around the entrance mainly, but I guess the mayor got himself stuck farther in. But the last time the boss checked in was a while ago. Hasn't come back for so long, I'm starting to get worried. I sure hope the monsters haven't eaten those two. Gives me chills just thinking about it. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming. Please find Mayor Edgar and old Dewey and bring them out, alive if you can. Alright, anything more to say before I go? Ricardo told me to stand guard at the entrance until he gets back. But I'm so scared here all by myself. I hope Dewey finds Mayor Edgar soon so I get back to the inn and eat a nice big dinner. The tunnels in the quarry were dug mostly into long vertical shafts with wooden walkways and staircases. For the most part, it's a straight path inside without a lot of branching. Alright, so that is it there. Let me go ahead and drop a save. You can see I tried to save earlier, but I need to overwrite that data since that's not going to be counting for anything. So, before we head in, let's go ahead and double check our characters. We should have a couple new ones. We have Paul, he's new. A morbidly obese miner. That apparently counts as morbidly obese these days. He's such a coward, he can barely even sleep at night since the monster started appearing. If he had the guts to match his gut, it wouldn't be such a problem. The guts to match his gut. Who else do we have that is new? We have Andre, that's new. Valestein Castle's gatekeeper. Can't stand the sense of confinement that comes with wearing a helmet, so he avoids it whenever possible. Likes to goof off on the job a little too much. We didn't get to really experience any of that, but there you go. We also should have a new monster. We have it's called a Rees, probably. It's level 2. It's a wildflower that grows along the roads. Its origins are unknown, but it attacks humans that get too close. Approaching is not recommended. 8 experience, and once again, 1 gold. Has more HP, so it takes a few more hits, but other than that, we are good. Nothing new added here. So, let me just double check that I have everything done that I want and that everything's working right.